goodness, games!
Hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Katawa Shoujo. Oh my goodness, games. Rin's Root. We're at part 23. And last episode, we were. Hold up. What were we? Yeah, we ate some oranges. I remember that. It's not like it was 2 days ago.
That joke's getting old, dude.
You do that joke more than I do. What are you talking about?
I do?
Yes.
Wow. Well,
all the time.
Alright, let's agree to never do that joke ever
Yeah,
again.
Ryan, it's not funny when you do it. Now that you're doing it, now it's lame. What the heck, man?
Don't put words in my mouth. Alright, for now on, we're not doing that joke. Neither of us. Alright,
no promises.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, and we're on a very important scene. I know what's going on.
Why does it look like... Doesn't it look like she's, the older lady, she's smoking something?
She is smoking something. That's a cigarette.
Oh, okay.
That is a...
I wasn't too sure, because I just...
Sae has a cigarette.
Alright, just making sure it wasn't my eyes.
In fact, if this is the scene, I think so. That cigarette's important, actually.
Oh, she's under a lot of stress or something?
You'll see. Some days later, I spot Rin and Sae standing together in front of the gallery as I walk down the street toward the gallery. Okay, now, alright. Sae is standing in front of the gallery as I walk down the street toward the gallery. Okay. They could have probably a different word besides gallery and using it twice. That's a nice repetition of words there. They seem to be talking to each other while Sae has a smoke. Good afternoon. I say this even though it's not really afternoon anymore, and I'm gonna lower that volume just a tinge. I say this even though it's not really afternoon anymore. I came a bit later than usual since I got caught up in doing homework. It's gotta be dark soon. You like my Lego Blossom?
I was like, do you made the Powerpuff Girls ones?
Yeah, but they're reboot Powerpuff Girls.
I noticed.
That's also a complete collection of all Lego Dimensions, dude. Teen Titans Go is way back there, and Beetlejuice is right behind the Powerpuff Girls.
Beetlejuice!
Yeah, that Beetlejuice.
It's showtime.
Hello there, Hisao. Came to visit the little kitten again?
Kitten?
Rin makes a face at the nickname. I guess she doesn't like it. Ironically, the way she wrinkles her nose like that really does make her look like a little bit like a cat. Hello? Sae turns back to Rin to continue the conversation they were having. So, in other words, everything is going well enough? Rin makes a difficult expression and turns her face away from me for some reason. It's difficult. It's like I'm missing something, but I'll do it. Work hard, and it will be fine. I'm gonna have to start working on my part of the preparations. I need to do a sales catalog, invitations, decorations, advertisements, and so on. I need the names for your works, and we also need to think up the general theme for the exhibition. They don't have it. They don't have anything like that. I'm not very good with words, so I don't use them. If I cannot use them... Oh, wait. I'm not very good with words, so I don't use them. If I cannot use them, I mean, sometimes I have to, but this is not a time like that at all. You don't like naming your works? I don't like it. Well, I guess it's hard to come up with a good name for something like this. Do you guys realize how many times I've gone to an art gallery and see Untitled? It's like everywhere.
Well, there's no law saying you have to name your art.
Oh. Just be nice.
I guess it'll, make it easier to find, okay, you want this artist? Which one you're looking for? The one that says Untitled.
The one that...
But they're all Untitled.
Untitled number 55.
Yeah.
Rin shakes her head vehemently. Oh my. It's not like that. It's not like that. It's like if I paint a cloud and call it an octopus. People will think about it differently than if I paint a cloud and call it the end of the world. Every name is wrong. Nothing ever explains what I feel like when I make a painting. It's It's not a wrong thing. The only thing would be to come up with new words for everything. But would it help at all?
No, I don't think so.
Then the paintings would just go with unnamed number 1 and so on. It's a bit inconvenient, but
They're doing the exact thing we just said.
What?
They're doing the exact thing.
What are they doing?
They'll go unnamed number 1, unnamed number 2.
Ah, yeah.
that's no good. Unnamed means you just didn't come up with a good name. And unnamed is a name. Like that big guy with the sheep and all.
Sae thinks about this for a while. Furrowing her brow, she keeps looking at Rin's serious face.
That's a serious face.
Well, as serious as I think she can make it.
So you're saying your artwork should be completely without labels? I think that's what I'm saying.
Sae lets out a dry laugh. The kind old ladies who smoke too much always seem to end up with.
Let's hope your art will never end up in a museum. The curators would explode.
She takes a contemptive puff of her cigarette, which has worn down not much more than the butt. Not much more than the butt. She then drops it into an ashtray affixed to the wall next to the door.
Affixed?
Next to her. Parallel, close.
Huh.
Then again,
So it makes sense if it was adjacent to her.
Then again, it could work.
What do you mean?
This namelessness, this rejection of labels, it works. It's a good unifying theme, and some people can grasp onto it easily. Allows for a lot of room for interpretation. It gives a good impression. Think about it. All sorts of associations can be made, starting from identity and self-definition, all the way up to whatever you want to think about it. We could call your exhibition Nameless and build on that theme. How does that sound?
Rin thinks about this for a while. I'm not sure how Sae managed to get so fired up by Rin's reluctance to apply names to her works. That's why she's good at her job! Feels like she might be...
What?
He's wondering how the heck you pick up so fast. Because Rin was being kind of difficult, like, what do you want to name your things? She's like, I don't want to name him anything. I don't want to name him anything. Huh, that'd be difficult. No, wait, that won't be difficult. We could go with that. Nameless. That's a great thing. Like, she just that's an artist for you. She caught on to it. Although, she could also just be a very good businesswoman.
I'd rather go with the whole artist thing.
It feels like she might be extrapolating her too much. It's a pretty impressive sounding idea.
I don't think it's a bad...
What's for these big words?
I don't know. That's the words they chose. It's like
Who made this game again?
a bunch of people made this game.
Oh.
A bunch of people. Different people. A different person wrote this Rin's route than compared to someone who wrote Hanako's route. They had different people for every single route.
Wow. Hey, fun fact, you remember that,
The writer for Hanako's route is who gave me those art books.
I think you told me that.
Yeah.
What was I about to say? Oh yeah, a little fun fact. You remember that, a Donkey Kong game we played, the bootleg one?
Yeah.
7 people worked on that game.
Good. I could believe that.
Alright.
Alright.
I don't think it's a bad idea.
For what it's worth, I have to say it sounds pretty good to me too. Sae reaches into her pocket for another cigarette, lighting it with a neon green butane lighter. Her forehead wrinkles and she rubs as she appears to furiously think more on this idea. She doesn't say a word for a little bit, but every now and then she takes a sharp drag from the cigarette.
Yes, I think this could work out pretty nicely. I'm gonna take this as a starting point and work from there. I'm going to work on this. You go back upstairs and try to find your missing ingredient. I'm sure it'll come to you sooner or later.
Rin doesn't reply, so Sae takes one last long puff from her cigarette.
Wouldn't it be just absolutely corny if that missing ingredient was love?
Love! Oh! Long pull from
Something's missing. It's you, Hisao.
She takes out one last long pull from her cigarette and drops it in the tray to join the others of its kind. The gallery owner turns to head back inside, but is stopped by Rin just as he reaches for the door handle.
So how is that cigarette important?
Say? What is it, kitten? Can I have some cigarettes?
Oh, I just had it.
Yeah, there you go, right on cue. She looks at Rin okay, that word. She looks at Rin intently. I'm gonna guess that's what that means. Clearly not having expected such a direct request. Not that I did either. And she... Don't tell your teacher. She just says yes, I can't, wow. She stuffs the packet and Rin gives her the whole pack, too, okay. Yeah. She stuffs the pack in Rin's pocket along with the neon green lighter. Like, she didn't even hesitate! My god!
She probably is like thinking, I've been in this business long enough to know that you definitely need cigarettes.
The day is already folding into dusk when we climb up the dark stairs leading up to what is now basically Rin's altar. As we go inside, Rin doesn't seem to be able to settle down. She keeps pacing around the room like a caged animal, looking through the skylight at the burgundy-colored dusk. The last light of the sun's advance across the sky reflects from the clouds floating over the town, filling every corner of the altar with blazing orange light. So painting is going well? She blinks. She's pacing, kinda. I don't think she seemed too well. She blinks, then relaxes her muscles. I didn't even realize how tensed up she was until now.
Not really. I haven't painted in 3 days. I'm going in squares.
Circles.
If you say so. I tried doing things a bit differently, but it doesn't work.
Hey, you see that face right there?
Yeah, that?
That's a serious face.
Yeah.
That's a serious face.
I could see that.
I tried doing things a bit differently, but it doesn't work. And now the old way doesn't work either. I need something more. It's not enough like this.
Ren's response gives me pause, since, as usual, I can't exactly understand what she means. Although, really, I shouldn't have expected anything else. She either says nothing at all, or too much. I try to comprehend and follow her train of thought. Trying to comprehend and follow her train of thought feels like wading through the jungle of Borono equipped with a wooden spoon and a map of Hokkaido.
Wooden spoon, yay.
It's annoying how her thoughts are both laid out in plain sight and hidden from view every time she opens her mouth. What more? You said that to Saya as well. The missing ingredient?
I think I have to destroy myself.
Okay, that sounds unnecessarily grim. What do you mean? Rin's shoulders slump and she turns to face me directly.
I have to change. I've tried, but this is not enough yet. I have to destroy myself first, I think.
Just to be clear, you are speaking metaphorically, right? Like learning to paint from scratch again, or whatever, so to speak? She shrugs her shoulders as if there's no difference.
There is no difference.
So, you're gonna start by smoking a cigarette for inspiration?
Maybe. I've never tried these before. Have you?
No, can't say I have. Still, I'm not really sure if having a smoke is the best starting point. She responds to my words with another nonchalant shrug. I open the cigarette pack and look inside. It's almost full. Smoking is bad for you. That's the idea here, I guess.
Yeah. I need to do something. I want to paint. I need something more.
Oh, okay, fine. What's after smoking a cigarette, then? How do you intend to just destroy yourself? Rin thinks for a split second, averting her gaze like she does when she doesn't want to get distracted.
I don't know yet. I'll decide later.
Alright! She has it in her mouth.
How is she gonna light it?
Well, she has help right now.
Alright.
Rin bends down to pick out a cigarette from the end. She raises her head with one between her lips and turns to me. Eyebrows curved into two arcs, challenging me to respond. With a sigh of resignation, I pick up the lighter and raise it to meet the cigarette. Soda coming back to me. Oh my.
Yeah, I know what's gonna come next. She's gonna cough.
I can feel Rin's warm breath almost against my quivering hand. The flame flickers to life on the third strike of the flint. I try to aim at the dancing fire at the end of the cigarette. An amber-colored glow spreads into the wrapping paper and tobacco as Rin inhales the first smoke. It seems to relax her significantly.
Well, of course, that's what it's supposed to do, nicotine.
To my surprise, she doesn't cough, despite telling me that she's a first-timer. Rin seems to remember that it's hard to blow the smoke out without spitting the cigarette out as well. She quickly sits down on the floor, bringing her foot to her lips like a circus contortionist, and expertly picks the filter between her toes. I get down on the floor as well. We both lie down almost simultaneously while Rin blows a steady stream of smoke toward the dim sky beyond the glass of the skylight, looking after it thoughtfully. Oh, I like this picture. The thin haze of smoke slithers towards the ceiling in fish-like movements. It blows in the stagnant air of the altar, twisting and turning around its own immaterial body until it dissipates in thin air.
What's the word for smoke that looks like that?
There is no word for that.
We should maybe come up with one.
Maybe. Rin takes another quick experimental drag.
It's not very tasty. It feels like inhaling the dust lying on top of a forgotten book about the memories of a dead kingdom. You want to try?
It's very specific.
My hesitation unintentionally surfaces again, making me freeze in the face of a rather trivial and commonplace challenge. Rin's ability to take everything so coolly is something I'm a bit jealous of. Alright.
Oh, yes.
Taking it from her, I have a drag on it, fighting against the sudden choking feeling in my lungs as they fill with smoke. You know, I don't think that's good for your heart, but whatever. To my embarrassment, I fail, wheezing and hacking my lungs out. I feel flustered, but maybe I haven't lost too much face in Rin's eyes. It's less unpleasant on the second try, but I still pass the cigarette back to Rin. Like a pair of budding delinquents in middle school, sneaking their first smoke out of the sight of teachers and parents. Well, I suppose it's not like that. That's exactly what we are. After a while, the cigarette has shrunk mostly the way down to the filter. Rin is still quietly looking out of the skylight. With her looking out there, the silence inside the altar seems to deepen even more. Are the cogs of creativity burning behind those eyes right now?
Do another one.
I mechanically pick another cigarette, light it, and place it on Rin's lips. She takes a few quick puffs and moves it awkwardly around her lips.
Favorite.
She said, shake it.
I'm assuming she said perfect.
No, she said shake it.
Shake it.
I think so, hold on. Yeah, shake if. Yeah, that's shake it.
Shake what, the cigarette?
Yeah.
Why?
Not understanding her garbled words, I glance over at Rin. Looks like she's having trouble with the cigarette. Oh, she was saying take it. I pick the cigarette from her lips, place it on mine, abandoning common sense and good reason while I do so. The first one should have been enough for me, but I take another drag. Is that a thing that you call smoking? I always thought it was just puff it.
What do you mean?
Is drag just another way of saying puff?
Well, actually, drag's the most common word to use.
Okay.
You could say puff.
I don't smoke, so I don't know that.
You see, it's usually if when you're doing a pipe, you call it puff, and when you're taking a smoke, you're doing a drag, or if you're doing like marijuana or something like that.
Excuse my poor smoking heart. Yes, my poor.
You mean knowledge? Poor smoking knowledge?
Excuse my poor smoking heart. Oh no, don't excuse it. It's nice and healthy because I don't smoke. Ah! First one should have been enough, but I take another drag. Still coughing a little at the unpleasant sensation of smoke invading my respiratory organs. I remember doing something like this before.
So you have smoke? Doesn't look like it, though.
Nah, lying on my back and looking at the sky with you.
Oh.
The sky on the other side of the glass is slowly growing darker. It's unreachably high. Even if the shimmering smoke seems to make it closer. I return the cigarette back to Rin's mouth. It feels bad somehow. The space between us, less than arm's reach, is still there. It's this distance between us, the immeasurably wide chasm of thoughts and feelings that separates us with graver certainty than even light years of physical distance could. By saying the right words, there might be a way to make that chasm narrower, even if it's just a little. I tried to cross that gap with one big step, but Rin turned me back. I glanced at her out of the corner of my eye. Rin is staring upward through the smoke-filled ceiling and the skylight at the darkening sky above us. It's almost like she's sleeping, even though she isn't. Her eyes are open, as is her mouth. I take the cigarette from Rin before it falls on her cheek. She doesn't even react to my touch in any way. So, this is where we are now. I wonder if we can ever be closer than this. I take a drag of the cigarette and blow a thin stream of smoke upwards. These indirect kisses are the only thing that connect us right now.
How come they don't show that, the puff of smoke going up?
No, you can see it. They actually have they had a little layer of smoke that you could just barely see. Well, that would require animation.
Right. Actual animation. Okay.
These indirect kisses are the only thing that connect us right now.
Indirect what?
Indirect kisses.
Kisses?
Because he's sipping it, putting the lips, and then he's...
they're exchanging saliva!
Yeah!
Right.
The taste of Rin's lips on the filter, mixed with the ashen taste of the smoke. Her soft lips against my fingers as I press the cigarette in her mouth, as if she was placing kisses on them. The ash softly falling down the floor between us is like snow. Dude, you should be a writer. You're good at this. As the second cigarette is being finished off, I'm already lighting the third one. The only thing breaking the stillness of the altar is the audible sound of smoke floating towards the stars blinking overhead. Light nausea hits me like the fourth or fifth cigarette. And long before, the shape of the waxing moon appears in the night skylight, shedding her wan light down on us. It'll be a full moon in a few days. It'd be nice to be able to fly. I flinch after realizing it was my own voice that gave birth to the remark. Bastard child of the almost evaporating smoke and tiredness.
You can't?
You can?
Sometimes I feel like it. Like I can do anything.
Oh, I wish I felt like that too sometimes. I wonder if she hears the bitterness seeping into my words. A vicious cycle of unrequited feelings is poisoning me even now. I try to push the grim thoughts aside. My efforts meet with little success as my mind keeps swirling around what ifs and if onlys. Watching the moon slowly creeping higher, I realize that a long time has passed since I came here. It sobers me somewhat, but also reminds me of the sad status quo we're in now. It's late. I better get going back to school. I stand at the leave, but Rin doesn't show any sign of rising up from the floor. She lies inanimate, as though all life has been sapped from her. Little wisps of smoke float about her, memories of the cigarettes we shared. I grasp her by the short, thin arm and try to pull her up. To my surprise, she complies and stands up with some help from me. I notice how little Rin weighs, as if she were made of feathers. Are you gonna stay here overnight?
I have to. I haven't painted in 3 days. I have to find out how I can start painting. Maybe the smoke helps.
Just take a break?
That's no good. I have to do it. If I can't paint anymore, I will be destroyed for real.
Maybe you're just burned out. You've been working pretty hard.
That would be bad. I wonder if this is it for me. I wanted to see how far I can go. Maybe this is it. The end.
You just have artist block. It's no big deal.
That's the word for when you can't paint, right? I've had that before, but never like this. I picked up a brush, and I wanted to put it down right away. And then I do. 3 days. It's like I've forgotten how to paint. I didn't think that was possible. Like, more impossible than Emmy growing wings and a tail.
You need a break. I mean, I get that you're trying to go deeper inside yourself for your painting, but it's not really that healthy to stay inside your own head for so long. I glance at the night sky visible through the window. A couple of stars are weakly twinkling above the city. They remind me of something I used to do once upon a time. It feels so horribly long ago. Come on, let's go outside.
Where?
It's just for a walk. I'll show you my secret place. I don't know if it works in this town, but we can try. In any case, you need a break. And probably something to eat. Come on. You need to get your thoughts away from this for a while. When they're troubled, most people escape from their unhappy lives into a world of fantasy. I did that before and still do today, reading books endlessly, immersing myself in their world rather than my own. Rin's escape should be the other way around, though, out of her inner world and into the real. Rin doesn't look happy about this, but I ignore her. At least she's somewhat cooperative.
I actually like Rin being like caught in her own world for too long and not getting enough reality. I had that plenty times in the past, and let me tell you, when you get to reality, it's a breath of fresh air, man. I tell you.
At least she's somewhat cooperative.
Yes, she could be stubborn. She could be stubborn.
Walking after me as we head down the stairs and then down the sidewalk. Night has fallen upon the town. It's a gentle summer night, smelling of flowers and hot asphalt. The sunlight is replaced by shining neon colors and bland yellow streetlights. The air is easy to breathe, as if the air pressure was noticeably lighter than usual. The feelings of daytime in the hot summer has lasted long into the evening and night. I grab Rin by her sleeve like I've seen Emmy do. To my surprise, she obediently follows. The pale streetlights fight across the all-enveloping darkness as we walk together. The guide and the guided, although neither knows the destination. But it doesn't matter. This is the only moment where the usual silences that have become a ritual between me and Rin at last fit perfectly. We walk side by side, choosing directions on impulse or inspiration. Sometimes we find ourselves back at a street we'd already seen once or twice. Sometimes we find new streets. All of them look asleep. Rin doesn't ask where we're going. Maybe she doesn't care. Maybe she knows I don't have an answer. The silence of the night isn't scary after all. The lights drive most of it away. Alright, wait. The silence of the night isn't scary. After all, the lights drive most of it away. The air grows colder as the moon progresses along its journey in the cloudless sky. Few cars roam the streets at this hour. and even fewer people are on the sidewalk. The apparent lack of nocturnal life is somehow befitting of this place. There are round-the-clock shops and cafes, sure, but the atmosphere is like the town itself is slumbering. A town that sleeps 8 hours a day. The city I grew up in, bathed in the electric glow of a million light bulbs, never slept. I've seen it for myself. It's not the first time I've done this. It happened one of the first times I was home alone. Both of my parents had business trips that neither could cancel, so they deemed me old enough to survive 2 days on my own. Their misplaced trust in me did not go to waste, as I proceeded to spend the entire night out walking around the city. Even afterwards, I couldn't say what made me stay downtown longer than I intended after school. I didn't feel like going home, so I stayed through the evening and eventually through the entire night. I walked long, concentric circles around a landmark chosen at random. For some reason, the nighttime city felt fascinating. So I walked its streets. At every intersection, it was possible to choose your destination at random because they all led to nowhere. The aimless wandering made me see things differently. Hope it'll do the same for Ren. Hey, yo, we've been here in Hanako's route. I recognize this. We stop by to buy some hot coffee and snacks from a vending machine, then locate a bench where we sit down to eat. There's no time in the night of the town, so we spend an unknown amount of it just sitting there, observing the stillness of the usually vivid townscape. Still, it's getting very late, and soon it'll be getting very early.
So this is it?
Hearing Ren's voice surprises me. She doesn't sound bored. Rather, her tone is inquisitive, uncertain as to why I dragged her out here, yet curious to find out the answer. Have you ever been out all night? It's like a different world. Her remark sends her thinking for a while, looking around if she was looking for something. The wisps of light reflecting from the corners of her eyes are suddenly very sharp.
It's not a different world. It's the same. It's just asleep. What do you think this town is dreaming of? Maybe something like car sheep or building sheep? Why are dreams always about sheep?
I've never seen a sheep-related dream that I can remember.
I have a question. What's the difference between a sheep and a lamb?
A lamb is a girl sheep. Or no, a lamb is a baby sheep. I'm pretty sure.
Do different towns dream of different things?
Probably. How could they not? I answer half jokingly, half spurring her on. For the first time tonight, it seems like a bit of Rin's life has returned to her. She doesn't continue her list of rhetorical questions, though. Instead, she leans back a little and looks up at the moon traveling above the town. The cold breeze blowing between the buildings seems to steal the conversation away before it even really begins. It's too bad. It looked like Rin would get out of her blue mood. I wish I could somehow know the right things to say, but I realize I can't do that the way I am now. I'm too far apart from Rin. I haven't really managed to crack her open. She's just too complicated. It's like she's open to everything equally. It's like she's open to everything, equally disinterested in everything from the outset. In truth, she's locked tighter than anyone else I know, even myself. Sometimes she locks herself inside that inner world, shutting everything else out. At other times, her thoughts flow freely from her mind, but not organized in any fashion that would make them intelligible to the rest of the world. What comes out in the form of paintings, I can't interpret. To me, it's a sea of colors and shapes, not a message. She's too far away. I know that it was a bad idea to try to reach her in the way I did, but I can't help liking her. I look at the fingers of my right hand, trying to remember what Rin's lips felt like against them. Do you ever feel like you're trying to reach out for something that's impossible to reach? Oh yeah, ask the person with no arms that, sure. Totally. Ask the person with no arms that question, yeah.
And it was then he saw the car, realized he f***ed up.
Rin turns her gaze to me, tilting her head quizzically. I wonder if she understands the meaning of my own rhetorical question or not. Either way, I like how I can manage to catch her attention just by speaking aloud nowadays.
All the time. All the time.
Oh gee, I wonder why.
At least I think so. That's what painting feels like. A lot of the time. Or all the time. I don't know. Sometimes I get the feeling that I can't really paint what I want. Sometimes it feels like it's just another shadow of me. Like a mirror that doesn't work right.
Like talking?
Maybe. When I was little, I didn't really have friends. Maybe it's the same now. The only things I liked were pens and paints. They were the only things that understood me. Now it feels like that, but now it feels like that's going away too. Change is a really scary thing.
I wish I could understand you. She looks at me melancholy, roused by my thoughts materializing as words spoken aloud.
Me too.
Whether she meant she wished for me to understand her to understand me, or her to understand herself, well, I never asked, nor do I find out. I see her eyes searching for mine, serious and cryptic as they are. I'm not getting any explanation from her.
Don't worry about it.
Oh, I love this.
Don't worry about it.
I will. She's small hints of a smile are wavering on her lips. When she's like this,
What did she say? Don't worry about.
just don't worry about her. It's like, don't worry. Well, no, I don't. I wish I could understand you. Me too. Don't worry about it. No, I will worry about it. It makes me feel that maybe there's hope for us. We get along so well for being so different. It's just that we never really get along precisely because we are so different. Maybe it was Rin's passionate approach to her art expedition. Perhaps my own careless words, but last week was different from usual. The small friction between us seems to be somewhat volatile, but at least we now seem to be back to normal. Relatively speaking. We stand up from the bench and pick yet another direction in which to go. The wee hours of the night slowly pass by as we measure the streets of the town, one step at a time. We're finally at ease, not minding the rare lone passerby, the eerie darkness, each other, ourselves. Ren's step seems lighter, like the heavy air around her is letting go a little. It makes me feel happy. We don't talk, save for single remarks that are spoken into the night of the town and never answered. The details jump into the eye instead of being the usual blur they are during the day. As the sky above the town changes from deep dark blue to gray, I know that our night is soon ending. It's almost morning. Rin looks up too and nods at me. It's true. The coming light of morning is creeping through the sky, climbing higher by the minute. It feels surreal. The sun won't come up for a while, but I get the feeling that the end of this night really is here and now. Should we head back? Rin nods again, twice, her hair waving in the breeze that seems to be heralding the coming dawn. Abruptly, she takes off, taking the lead in this walkabout in which I brought her. It almost seems like she's in a better mood. This, too, makes me feel happy. Rin's navigational skills are probably not much better than mine, but we eventually find ourselves in front of Sae's place. I don't know if this was any help. I did this once before, but it was more because of a stupid impulse or maybe relentlessness back then. Maybe this was a silly idea and didn't really help you at all. She nods as an answer.
No, so...
So, do you know how you're gonna destroy yourself now?
I have some ideas. I don't I have some ideas. I don't want to see you for a while. Don't come and see me. Do something else.
Ultimatum catches me completely off guard.
What's an ultimatum?
It's like a deal. It's like, although there is the ultimatum has like a side for the other person, like a deal, but there is no other side here. What the hell? What was that? What's that about? You said before that you didn't mind.
I mind now. It's just for a while. I have to do this alone.
I don't like that.
Why?
I don't want it to go like this.
Why?
I just don't want to feel this distance between you and me. She tilts her head like a bird, eyes narrowing a little as she thinks.
Then you can touch me.
What?
You can touch me if you want. You'd feel better, right?
I don't know.
Try.
Where do you want me to touch you?
No boobs or left ear. Other than that, you can decide.
Fine. I raise my hand hesitantly, even though I don't know why I'm actually doing this. My eyes tell me that she's not going to explain. 1,000 thoughts race through my head as I slowly bring my hand close to the Rin's face and press 3 fingers against her pale cheek. Rin feels soft and cold. She closes her eyes on contact and visibly relaxes. I can feel her soft breathing, her muscles releasing the tension as my fingertips caress her cheek. She doesn't rest her head against my palm or anything else you'd expect a girl to do in this sort of situation. In fact, she hasn't reacted at all, save for those now shut eyes. Once I withdraw my hand, she opens them again. It might be just an illusion created by the timid morning sunlight playing with my eyes, but Rin looks like she's holding back a smile. This is the problem with our relationship. Half the time I have no idea what's going on. And the other half I just fail to understand while things are going on like they are. As usual, I'm not going to get an explanation. Rin merely takes a step towards the door.
See you later.
She then disappears from my reach for an undefined period of time. That was serious!
Oh my.
I think we're gonna leave it out there, definitely. That was a big long one. Oh, but don't worry, we'll continue recording more when we need to. Did you like where that was going? Did you find it interesting?
I guess.
Smoking and choking!
Bye, everybody.
Oh man! And I know the next big scene. Oh boy.
Are we still recording?
Yeah, we're still recording. Nice 43 minutes there, yeah. Glad you can stay with us, folks. We'll see you next time on Relation to Troubles, Katawa Shoujo Rin's Route. Oh baby!